Hi, welcome back to Cheyenne, Wyoming Urban Gardener. This is Debbie. I am so glad that so many of you liked the last video. I got a few dislikes on it, but I think that's just mostly because, well, that's probably the same person that just came through and made a bunch of dislikes on videos. Kind of goes along with that cyberbullying thing because you kind of wonder why would someone go in and dislike a video that you have worked really hard on. You're collaborating with someone else kind of, and you're trying to help another channel out that was having some issues with cyberbullying. That's just the way it goes. However there is in life, there's always someone that's bitter and they just want to take bitter out on everybody else just so they can make everybody else's lives miserable. But it doesn't really bother me that much. Got some dislikes on that video, but I also got plenty of likes, a lot of comments about thanking me for the video and bringing awareness out. So I'm glad it did some good somewhere. That was the whole point of that video. So anyway, I hope you've had time to go back and look at that video, actually watch it all the way through because it has some good points in there, even though I was kind of rambling all over the place. That's just how I am. My thoughts are sometimes not cohesive. I'm human. Anyway, we're over here looking at the south-facing window right now. I'm in Garden Zone 5A, 5B in Cheyenne, Wyoming. That will be shortly changing. We're actually looking at property in another area that will be a little bit less windy, but not too far away from here, actually. So it'll still be in the same garden zone, and the soil will be a little bit more fertile and a lot less wind. But that doesn't prevent me here from growing whatever I wanted to. If you go back and look at my prior videos in the past almost 7 years that I've been making videos here in the 5A, 5B garden zone of Cheyenne, then you can see lots of growing going on, and that's exactly what's going on right now in my south-facing window. I have been slowly but surely kind of purging some of my plants. Not that I'm purging the entire plant, I'm purging some pieces of the plant, just so or a lot of the plants, just so I have a little bit more room in the new house, because we're going to have less room in the new house. It's still going to be more than 5 bedrooms or 5 bedrooms or more. It's just going to be a little bit smaller. The house that we're currently in is an old Victorian, built in 1883. Has a total of 30 rooms in the house. Some of them are pretty small, and it's just like a Victorian is. Some of them don't have closets. But there's quite a lot of space in this old Victorian house, but it's just a little bit too much for us anymore. We're down to just 4 people living in the house. It's myself, my partner, my daughter, and my grandson. And they're going to stay with us, so we're going to have still 4 people in the house, but we don't need quite a bit of room that we have in this house. This house is a little over 7,000 square feet, which is quite a lot of space. 4 floors, has a partially finished attic, and it has a fully finished basement. So quite a lot of space in here, a little bit too much for us, a lot of maintenance, and hopefully we'll be scaling that back quite a bit. But we'll have more land and a little bit more room to grow. So anyway, what I'm doing today in the south-facing window is I'm going through and condensing down some of my containers. I have been kind of putting some of my containers together, splitting off some of them to give to people. So I have some containers that are going to be leaving here today. And just going back to 1 or 2 of certain varieties of plants. Some of them I don't have 2 varieties of, I only have 1. So it's going to be pretty easy to kind of manage that. I've officially gotten almost 1 entire shelf cleared out. The only thing I have left there is a cactus, and I actually have 3 of those cactus bunches. So 2 of those will be leaving. These are very easy to propagate that I found out. So we will just keep 1 for further propagation, and then the other ones are going to find homes. And then we have my Hoya is finally kind of spreading out. So these are household plants. Some of them are vegetables that I've been starting right now. We're in January, so I'm going to be starting some of my flowers. I'm actually going to plant this season's garden here in Cheyenne, but we most likely will not be remaining here. But we will be putting a clause to come back and harvest the vegetables at the end of the season. So we'll be going ahead and planting all of the garden here. But we will also be planting a garden in the new space because we have tillers and things like that we can break ground and things, so we don't have to worry about that too much. And then there are some raised beds in the new house. And I'm not able to show you the new houses yet because we're still in negotiations with the house. Something could fall through. I don't want to jinx it, so we're still working with trying to get our financing all finished and getting this house sold. So this house will be going on the market, and we're just doing a lot of repairs right now that we needed to do and get it on the market. So anyway, we're going in here and we're splitting off a bunch of things. I'm going to be starting some plants from our fuchsia plant. We'll be splitting off some of those, propagating, and starting some new orange seeds, lemon seeds, and things like that. And I did go ahead and cut off a lot of my the pieces of my tomato plant. I've got this Kellogg's breakfast tomato that was left over from the last season. So we had quite a lot of pieces that came up on this one. So we went ahead and got those cut off, and we're going to get those propagated. And so I've got those over here, and they are actually, they've only been in the water for about 3 or 4 days now. And let me show you roots already. So look at that. Loads of roots already popping up on these, on every single one of them. We've got 3 here. I could have taken a couple more, but I wanted to actually keep the original plant. We're going to go ahead and get that one planted. It'll be right here in this same area. And we'll just go ahead and get this one propagated here, which is already kind of propagated. It's in a pot. But we need to go ahead and upplant it. We've got some roots coming around the base there. So we can put some more soil in that. Maybe get it into a larger container. And basically that's what we're doing, is we're just doing some maintenance in here. I'm getting some seeds started. I started an orange hat tomato, which is actually an indoor tomato that you can grow in a windowsill. They're very small and have little cherry-sized tomatoes. So I've got one of those. I planted 3 seeds, but only one of them come up. So that's fine for me. That's all I wanted was one. But I do have some seeds remaining from the packet that I got. And I'm going to go ahead and get those planted too. So if I have extras come up, then I can actually give those to other people. We're going to have these 2 basils leaving because they are, as you can see, one of them is blooming. So they're pretty healthy, even though they're kind of bent and things like that. I've noticed that this variety does that. This is cinnamon basil or dark mottled basil. And so is this one. This one's actually started to bloom today. So we'll get those out to people. We've got a couple of mint plants, chocolate mint and the lemon mint, that'll be leaving here. So those are looking quite healthy. Unfortunately, I got aphids on these, and I've been battling the aphids since I noticed them. There's quite a lot less of the aphids, but there's still some on there. So I've been kind of going in and treating those as I can, but they're quite healthy. I haven't seen any damage on them from the aphids, so I think these will go ahead and let these go as well. And we've condensed down our floss flower plant quite a bit. I took a starting out of it because someone stated that she would like to have some, and I've actually split off from my lavender. So here's a couple of plants in here from my lavender. You can actually see an aphid flying around. So we got 2 types of aphids. You got green aphids, which are actually just immature, adolescent versions of the aphids that do fly. So we've got one here that was flying around, and once it lands, they're very easy to kill, and you can actually treat these with dishwashing liquid and water in a spray bottle. So if you go back and look at one of my prior videos on how to treat aphids, they're very easy. Just spray them and they die off, and you just keep spraying them for a period of about 6 to 8 weeks. I'm about halfway through that. And then we're just still continuing to treat. So we've just about got them gone at this point. And I haven't noticed the aphids attacking anything else. They've only been attacking the mints. They've not touched anything else. I have lavender in here, and lavender is kind of a natural predator, I guess, of the aphids. So they have really avoided that. So we've got, I went ahead and replanted or repotted my amaryllis. I have 2 amaryllises, and this one was kind of struggling, and it had some root rot. So I cleaned it up yesterday, peeled back some of the papery outside yesterday, and just kind of put it in the pot so it decomposes in the pot. and cleaned up the roots a bit, trimmed off the rotten sections, and then just left the clean, healthy sections. So hopefully that will come back out very soon. And that's basically what we have been doing, is just going in and getting ready for seed starting and cleaning up a lot of our plants that we have already, and condensing down some of our other plants, and just overall doing a lot of maintenance in regards to the plants. So we're kind of preparing for the new garden season as well, because like I said, we will be planting here as well as planting in the new place. So I've started getting my seed containers out, working on those. I'm actually going to be planting some seeds in some paper cups this time, just to try that out a little bit. And we'll see how it goes. So anyway, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for notices on new videos as they come out. And we shall see you in the next one.